Hello everybody, Pat Lawless is my name. I was so lucky to be born into a loving family on the banks of the River Shannon in Limerick City. My mother was a florist, still hale and hearty at 94 years old. My father a furniture maker. I served my time with him as a cabinet maker after I left school. 1981 I got married to my beautiful bride of 42 years, Rita Gagan. In 1989 we moved to Ballyferriter in West Kerry where I became a fisherman. 10 years deep sea and 10 years lobster fishing. Fantastic place to rear a family. My father was by far the biggest influence in my interest in the sea and the oceans. Because of that I wound up in the Golden Globe race, so it's really down to my father. Whether I blame him or thank him, only time will tell. My journey so far in the Golden Globe race has been fantastic. It's a family, I have fantastic new friends, and it's an adventure of a lifetime, a dream come true. Unfortunately, I didn't make the finish. I only got as far as Cape Town. My self-steering stopped working like 3 other boats in the race. Without self-steering, it wasn't safe to go on. And if I had the spares, I could have fixed it. It's still a struggle for me. This means I still have the dream to do the race and I have unfinished business. So I fully intend to try my best to be on the start line in the GGR22.
Not one drop of spray in the boat yet. We're along between 7 and 8 knots. 3 or 4 metre swell. Not over pushing the boat, but twin jibs and the mainsail. This is the life. Tipping along, 7 knots. Twin jibs. Hold out. And the mainsail. I'm really contenting myself these days on the boat. I just feel totally relaxed and at home. Just feel at one with the ocean and at one with all the wildlife around me. It's a nice feeling to feel like comfortable. I know the boat is in great condition. Sun has gone down. Try and leave the spinnaker up for the night. It's holding nicely. Lovely evening here in a nice little spot, 10 degrees south of the equator, thousands of miles from anywhere, but beautiful all the same. Rolly Tasker sails are serving me well. This is Green Rebel. All was going well in the GGR22. I was happy with how things were going. I was a bit overweight. I brought too much food and too much stuff, but I was down about 37, 38 south and the Aries started to give trouble. It's working fine here. Bindle is shining there. The bushing in the front got loose first and then the pressure came on the bush in the back and that got loose. I spent several days hanging over the back of the boat thinking I could fix it and trying to fix it and nothing worked. I got really fed up and I just went to Cape Town. I had no choice really. If I went on, it would have been reckless. It would have been madness. I was about 5 days out of Cape Town, so it gave me time to let everything sink in. And if I had gone on in the Chichester class, I knew there was a chance I could lose my boat or get in trouble, and I just felt it wasn't worth the risk. It wouldn't be in the race, and the GGR to me is the race, and if you're not in the race, it's not worth doing for me really. Going in Chichester class didn't interest me. Here I'm running under twin jibs and using the staysail to steer the boat with sheet of tiller. When the wind went to one side of the staysail or the other, it would pull the tiller behind. This worked really well. Once the wind was ahead of the beam or a beam at the boat, you could just steer it very easily. So I actually was delighted with my sheet of tiller effort coming in. It was no problem. I steered quite well, but if you got into a storm, you'd be in trouble. You know, the boat would broach and you'd be in big trouble, so I just had to give that up. So here's the boat in Cape Town with the Aries taken off, and you can see the hydrogenerator there, the ocean power hydrogenerator, and lovely marina, nice place to visit, but unfortunately not what I wanted. Here we are sailing along 467. Nice comfortable sailing under the right rig, no problem. But if you didn't have your Aries, you would be even in a 6-7, you would be under a bit of pressure, you know, so there was no question you couldn't really go on without the Aries. This looks rock and roll, but you know, this is the nicest sailing. Downwind sailing like this it's really comfortable, really easy. It's very comfortable below, easy cook, easy do everything. Just once you don't carry too much sail, you're fine. It's easy to carry too much sail in this kind of weather because you reach your maximum speed whatever the maximum speed with the load I had in the boat was about 6.5, 7 knots. You will get up to 8 at times, but difficult to keep at 8 and you're pushing everything too hard. Headwinds are tough. The boat is pitching, it's uncomfortable, it's at a heel, but worst of all, the GGR boats are much, much slower and don't point as high as modern boats. Therefore, in a dead headwind, you might be back to 50 or 60 miles a day, and you believe everybody else in the race is going way better with better winds. There was a lot of headwinds at the start of the GGR, down past Lanzarote and down to the equator, but it was the same for all of us, so that wasn't too bad. Then there are the calms. The calm sailing is really difficult. This is nice. A light little breeze came up and a headwind. The apparent wind helps. It keeps the boat going in flat weather. But north of the doldrums and south of the doldrums, you get calms and the sea is rocking and rolling and the sails are flogging. You think all the other people in the race have wind and you haven't. It's hard on the gear, it's hard on the sails, it's hard on yourself. The calms would do your head in. But they do pass. And when they pass, you get back in the race and you do enjoy it. And then there's navigating without a GPS. It really worked out quite well. I was a bit anxious about it before the start. But when possible, I would take 2 sights in the morning, a noon sight, and 2 sights in the afternoon. The finer the weather, the flatter the sea, the easier it was. Even on a dull day, you can get the sun through the clouds now and again. I am planning on doing the Golden Globe race in 2026, and I intend to use the stars and the moon as well as the sun. I only used the sun in 22, but it is one of my plans. Here you can see the sun on the horizon. It's above the horizon. You bring it down there, it's down on the horizon more or less now. And I just took this through the section with the camera, so it's not great. I really did enjoy the section work and look forward to doing more between now and the start of the Golden Globe race in 2026. Here you can see my effort in cleaning the goose barnacles off the hull. I got a present of this scraper from Martine Moriarty, the artist It Must Be Dingle, and her partner Shannon, and it really worked so well. It was worth its weight in gold. The anti-fouling I used is called Seajet Self-Polishing. I got it in Viking Marine in Dublin and it worked really, really well. It's like chalk, it's environmentally really friendly, and anything that sticks to it just comes off like dust. The only thing that stuck to the anti-fouling actually, since I put it on nearly a year ago, was the goose barnacles. I put the boat on the hard in Valencia, I cleaned it, and it was really good. I was delighted with it. The prop was clean. I put the Seajet propeller anti-fouling on it and it really worked so well also. And then there's the food. The main mistake I made with food is I brought too much. The bread mix is fantastic. You just pour it in, add milk or water, whatever you have. I brought long life milk. I have a special pot oven and I would mix it up and put it into the pot oven and bake it. In this case, I opened a steak and kidney pie and I cooked the pastry of the steak and kidney pie on top of the bread. And I heat the sauce from the steak and kidney pie and in a pot, and I eat that with the pastry when it's cooked down on top of it. And it's really nice. It works really well. The only problem I had with food was I brought too much. But food isn't a problem for long distance sailing. Potatoes work really well. You can cook them in salt water. Rice and pasta are good. Tinned food, freeze-dried food, there's an endless supply of food. Water, you have to bring enough water. Water is a big one, but it's doable. You'll catch rainwater, harvest it and put tablets into it to kill the bacteria. Food is not a problem. A lot of people ask about sleep. Sleep is no problem. I have an AIS alarm that will tell me if the ship's around. So when I sleep, I usually sleep for 20 minutes and then I get up and check things. But what I'm mainly checking for is to see did the wind change. It's a race and I don't want to be going in the wrong direction. So I will sleep during the day now and again, but mostly I sleep at night and it works well. It's easy. I try not to get tired and that's the way the sleep goes. The main table in the middle of the boat worked really well. Up in the bow, I used for lighter stuff, ropes and sails and stuff, but I might put heavier stuff in the bow the next time. I found my stern a bit low. This walkthrough was done in Cape Town before I left to sail home. It's a really nice spot, Cape Town. I really enjoyed seeing Table Mountain, and it was my first time south of the equator. I went down to the lower Cape and that, and the organisers over the sink worked really well as well. But yeah, the yacht club were so friendly and Cape Town was gorgeous. The quarter berth behind I used for storage. And here up into the climate, the beautiful climate of Cape Town. It was absolutely stunning. Really lovely to see it. I wish I didn't have to stop, but when I did, I enjoyed it. Lucky enough, my wife came down.
Couple of 100 miles southwest of the Azores. And we have company. Close reaching. They're small fellas. Bit of a shower behind us there. Bent the wind about 10 degrees. It's a shirt my father left me. I like wearing it. See, especially. Yeah, it's nice out here. I better go down and have the dinner on.
5 years ago, in the spring of 2018, I decided to enter the Golden Globe race. It's been a fantastic journey. Buying the boat in Amsterdam, sailing down to Les Sables for the prize given of the 2018 race, sailing back home, starting to prepare the boat. It's been exciting and fantastic. The Irish people were really, really kind, got behind me so well. So many, I don't want to start naming people, or it just wouldn't be fair to the people I wouldn't mention. But I would like to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. People have been so kind to me. It made it harder to pull out of the race, but you know, I had no choice. It was just the way things happened. It was my own fault really. My time management was poor, and in the end I ran out of time and I didn't get to bring my Aries to Holland to get it serviced. I thought it was good. I got help looking at it and it really seemed to be good, but obviously it wasn't good enough. But such is life. And when the 26 race comes around, I will be way better prepared. I learned an awful lot from the 22 race, and I think that will stand to me. There has been twists and turns in the road. My wife being diagnosed with Parkinson was the lowest point. The few months before the race, when my time was running out and everything wasn't prepared, other low points. The start of the race was so exciting, a real high point. And sailing down, getting to Lanzarote and being in contention, that was all great. Then getting to Cape Town, more anticlimaxes and steering breaking down, but it was a roller coaster of a ride. Fantastic. So once again, I really want to thank everyone for all their kindness. My sponsor, Green Rebel, the FLI group, Michael Flynn, Nix Newmans, so many other people. So thank you, and all the people of Ireland who really got behind me. Thank you so much.
70 miles from Dingle. 3:45 now, and you're in at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to getting home. Nice fine day today. Nippier than I have been used to for the last year, but it's lovely. Beautiful. I'm dressed for the cold. I have a good few t-shirts on. So all is good in the world. Lovely weather. Looking forward to getting home. Yeehaw!